The real reason you hate Avatar Korra. Some of y'all may not know this about me, but I love
Korra's
Korra.
a better
I love
Avatar
Korra
than
as a
Aang.
character.
Saying
I
that
am
now.
a day one Korra defender, and even though a lot of people don't like Korra, they say she's the worst Avatar ever. So I'm interested to see what this video is about. If I
It's really impossible for her to be the worst Avatar ever when Yang Chen exists.
I'll hear any new arguments about why Korra is a terrible Avatar.
People hate Korra. And I'm not talking about people
of it is
hating the
unwarranted.
show, The Legend of Korra. No, I'm talking about they hate specifically Avatar Korra. It's been
I'm gonna say it right now, bro. I will always be a Korra defender, bro. The amount of hate that Korra gets, I feel is so unjustified. Like, there are reasons to not like Korra.
A lot of the reasons that Korra gets hate is because it's strictly because she's not Aang. People, I remember when Legend of Korra first came out and niggas saw Tenzin for the first time and thought that was Aang, found out it wasn't Aang and crashed the fuck out. Cause how dare my favorite Avatar grow up and have kids? Like, what, nigga, what?
Korra, like the show, I feel like you can even criticize Korra as an Avatar. The problem I have with it is people will criticize Korra down to like the last minute detail.
No, my problem is y'all will say shit about Korra that did not happen. I hate when y'all do that shit, especially the whole getting rid of the past Avatar thing. That was not her fault. Like, we're not gonna sit here and act like Unalaq didn't rip her soul out of her body. Or that fucking kaiju fight with Unavatu. They say Jinora carried. Jinora was barely there. If you actually watch the fight, Jinora was barely there. So what exactly did she carry?
And just completely look over like all the other things that are caused by other avatars. Like, in the eyes of most people, Aang can do no wrong. Aang has done nothing wrong, and it's like, bro, you could criticize Aang just as much as you could criticize Korra. And
Bro, I've said this for the longest time. Kuvira becoming a dictator is Aang's fault. Kuvira becoming a dictator is Aang's fault, and I'm gonna tell you why. How was Republic City created? Republic City was created by taking a piece of the Earth Kingdom and turning that into the United Republic, right? Which is why they call Kuvira the Great Uniter. She wants her shit back. Kuvira wants to take her shit back. I'm 100% just spreading propaganda. Don't mind me. Because Aang and Zuko colonized a piece of the Earth Kingdom, well, first, technically, the Fire Nation started it during the 100-Year War. Then Zuko and Aang took it over and turned it into something else. So really, it's barely a piece of the Earth Kingdom anymore. But because Kuvira was dealing with all her trauma and her family not being around anymore, and her making her own past mistakes and all that shit, it started to radicalize her down the wrong path. To the point where she wanted to just protect the Earth Kingdom and bring shit not back to the way it used to be, but build a stronger Earth Kingdom. Kuvira is Hitler because of Aang. like full stop. Kuvira became a Nazi because of Aang. Okay, like I said, I'm just pushing propaganda. Aang is a part of the puzzle. I do think part of Kuvira becoming a Nazi is Aang's fault.
in certain situations.
basically become a meme at this point. People making almost their entire personality about hating Korra and her show, feeling justified in their hate after the announcement.
And it's so annoying too. Like, the amount of times I've talked about The Legend of Korra on like TikTok or Instagram, and I'll have people be like, "Oh my god, I hated this show so much." And like, yeah, you could not like a show, but people act like Korra is the worst thing ever. Like, it's literally unwatchable, dude.
I wonder how many people that hate Korra actually watched Korra all the way through, because they say they watched it or they rewatched it recently, and they'll just name a bunch of, like I said before, a bunch of shit that didn't happen.
Korra had so many good moments. I as a whole, as a complete series, dude, I like The Legend of Korra. I like it a lot.
Season 2 was probably
but there
the
are so many
weakest,
people
but
that act
that's
like it's unwatchable garbage, and I'm like, bro, that's not true.
You didn't. People don't like change, And I think that's the thing that people don't really understand. People don't like change. Like and the crazy part is they got some of Team Avatar already. Like it's the whole like. Here's an analogy I want to use. Going from Avatar to Legend of Korra is like watching Rugrats and All Grown Up, right? Everyone is different. Either everyone is different, or like there's characters that are related to some of these characters, but they're not the characters that you grew up with and you love. So you don't know how to really accept it. And that's the issue with Legend of Korra. It's very similar to All Grown Up. Yeah, the Rugrat kids are teenagers and young adults and shit now, but it's like that's not Rugrats to a lot of 90s kids.
They screwed over Korra so bad though. Like, I don't know if y'all know the story behind the first season of Legend of Korra, but it was supposed to be a one and done. They didn't know that and that's why the Legend of Korra season 1 is like objective.
Yeah, but here's my thing. How is it the worst show ever? How is Legend of Korra the worst thing ever when that shit got so popular that it got 3 more seasons? Explain that to me. If Legend of Korra was so bad, it would have just been a one and done like Nickelodeon planned. So clearly somebody here is lying. Because how did Korra get so popular that it spun 3 more seasons out of it? Yet it's the worst thing ever. I don't get that.
Effectively, when you look back at it, the most well-written season in a sense, because they thought they were just doing 1 season and then it was going to be over with. They didn't know that they were going to do 4 seasons of the Legend of Korra. Let's do another season. See? And then, you know, up until season 4 ended. And
like, y'all kept watching it. If Korra was that bad, why would y'all keep watching it? It's not even like y'all were hate watching it. Y'all wanted to see what happened next. So I don't get it. I don't get how y'all can say Korra is so trash now, but clearly y'all loved it enough back then to get 3 more seasons after the first one.
She's always losing, which is obviously a problem for someone who's supposed to be.
That's such a stupid argument though.
She loses all her fights. She does. Okay, let's count all the wins that she's had. She beat Amon. She literally knocked Amon out of a window and made him skip town. She ripped Unavatu. She ripped Unavatu apart. She beat the Red Lotus. Doesn't matter if she had help. If Aang can get help, if Aang can have help in the final season of Avatar, Korra can have some help against the Red Lotus. Cause there's no way Aang could take on the Fire Lord and all of his soldiers by himself. It's unrealistic. It's even more unrealistic to expect Korra to take down an entire terrorist organization by herself. She beat Kuvira. Yeah, she got smacked up by Kuvira in round 1, but y'all keep forgetting that she had poison in her system. She had PTSD and all that shit. When they ran it back in round 2, Kuvira was running from her, bro. Kuvira was getting smacked up by Korra so bad that she tried to hit her with the spirit cannon. Korra took a full spirit cannon to the face and opened another spirit portal. A third one. Y'all keep talking about how, she should have closed the spirit portal. Well, guess what? There's a third one that opened in the middle of Republic City. And guess what? It wasn't Korra's fault. Y'all gonna blame Korra for that, even though it was Kuvira's fault. Because she couldn't take a fucking L.
Dude, you know how many fights Aang lost? They consistently said that, bro, Aang would have died so many different times throughout the course of Avatar The Last Airbender.
If the blue spirit, if Zuko did not get Aang out of that prison, he would have been dead by morning. He was not getting out of there without Zuko's help. Do you know how many times this nigga Aang has been bailed out and saved? It's like y'all don't watch your own show.
The reason why people don't think Aang lost as many times, or like don't realize how many fights Aang lost, is because they always ran away. Korra's in Republic City. She had nowhere to run to. Aang literally died to Azula. She literally killed Aang, and then Katara had to bring him back to life. You know what I mean? So when people,
but if you tell Avatar fans that, it'll be like, oh no, he wasn't dead. He was in a coma. What do you mean? He was in a coma after Katara revived him. And then they like to say, she snuck him. It was a sneak attack. He didn't know she was going to do that. How if he was watching her prepare to attack him this whole time? All surrounded by Zuko, Azula, and all of the Dai Li. He knew they were getting ready to strike. At any moment in time, he knew the risk. but said, fuck it, I gotta go into the Avatar state. Which he wouldn't have had to do had he listened to the guru. And actually learned how to tap into the Avatar state on command and let go of his emotional attachments to Katara. But he was a fucking simp and chose Punani over politics. He chose romance over revolution. He chose coochie over consciousness.
Consciousness over coochie. Politics over punani. I keep telling y'all that.
He didn't want freedom. He just wanted Katara. And because of that shit got him killed. Katara literally got him killed.
Chi blockers. People seem to be especially harsh on her for losing.
The chi but the chi blocker one is so annoying because they're
It's
like, okay,
temporary.
Korra got packed up by this random chi blocker. Korra spent her entire life on an island where they kept her sheltered. So when she fought a chi blocker, she didn't know chi blocking exists. She didn't know what was happening.
And compare that to Aang with the archers, skilled, trained marksmen who don't fucking miss. He never faced nothing like that before. He was frozen for 100 years. But y'all excuse that because it's Aang. So if Aang can be frozen for 100 years and get away with losing to opponents he never fought before, why can't Korra? That makes no sense.
Yeet him out the window. She doesn't necessarily beat Amon. She just kind of exposes him. Wait, pause.
She beat Amon. If you exposed your opponent as a fraud and the embarrassment is so bad that he had to skip town and inevitably die at the hands of his brother, that's a loss on his record. Korra won the fight. It came at the cost of her losing her bending, but at the same time she didn't fully lose her bending. So it's like she didn't lose the fight. She got one good. All it took was one good hit for that man Amon to be just shook. That's a win for Korra. She got her ass whooped. She got dog walked. But to say she lost, no. I'm not counting that as a loss. Amon leaving town was a form of surrender. Technically, him and Tarlok surrendered and said they'd leave town because too much has happened. But between them, too much chaos has happened in Republic City.
But when you look at the other elements, if they chose violence, you would think that they would be able to get the Fire Nation out of there so quick.
Katara could have went crazy as a villain. I feel like Toph could have went crazy as a villain and somehow unlocked bloodbending. See, I thought Earthbenders could be bloodbenders too, but apparently there's not enough iron in the human body to justify it. Like there's more water in a human's blood system than there is iron. Like it's not the same as like Magneto being able to control the iron in someone's blood. Because that's what I was thinking when I first thought that Earthbenders could do it. I'm like, if Magneto can do it, then an Earthbender could do it. But apparently it's not the same. Bro, I keep saying this all the time, and Avatar fans disagree with me, but that's okay. I feel like if Roku really wanted to, he could have just killed Sozin and taken over the Fire Nation. Because here's the thing. If it meant that it was preventing genocide and putting the Fire Nation in check, who's going to say no to that? But then it becomes a conflict of interest because it's like, should every avatar from each element become the leader of each nation? Is that fair? Because what happens when the avatar is a leader of a nation, but they're incompetent and there's someone amongst their people who can do a better job, but it's just their birthright because they're an avatar, right? That's the dilemma it creates. Obviously, there could be some sort of checks and balances with that. I feel like if something is teetering towards the path of tyranny and serious intervention is needed, then the avatar steps in. But that's just me, though. I think a lot of shit would have been prevented if Roku killed Sozin and took over the Fire Nation.
She had lost her bending. How was Aang able to just give it back to her? You know, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like
my whole thing about Aang giving Korra her bending back, right? A lot of people say that Korra doesn't ask the past lives, the past avatar spirits for help. And then there's a situation where she does ask for help, right? Or doesn't ask for help, but she talks to one of the avatar spirits. The past avatar offers help to get her bending back. And then the avatar fans are just like, oh, well, she didn't deserve it. She didn't earn it. So what are we supposed to do? Sit here and go through 3 more seasons of her relearning earthbending and all of her other bending? Like, are we watching The Legend of Korra or are we watching Korra The Last Airbender? What are we talking about? Korra didn't deserve to get her. Like, that shit made no sense, bro. Like, The Avatar community is type slow. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all will actually want to watch Korra sit through 4 seasons of relearning bending.
Oh, Korra got a handout from Aang. Aang had to give her her bending bag.
So
Isn't the
technically that's their fucking job. The whole point of the past avatars is to guide the current avatar through their journey of maintaining balance. So technically Aang is doing his job.
entire reason Aang beat the Fire Lord, didn't have to kill the Fire Lord, is because he was gifted the ability to take people's bending away from the Spirit Turtle.
Because now the writers have written themselves into a corner.
First they premiered on TV, then it went to the Nick app. They thought sending that shit to the Nickelodeon app was gonna kill the show.
The writers were like,
Didn't
you know what?
Jinora
Instead
have to
of
save
having
her? Isn't
giant
that what
blue
happened?
spirit Korra beat the crap out of the bad guy, how about we make it so she's about to be corrupted or exorcised by the spirit bending that Unavatu's doing, and then at the last minute we'll have Jinora come in and do like a.
So much slander comes from this season, and you'll hear people say, "Oh, Korra's the worst Avatar because she lost the Avatar cycle," or
That
like
wasn't her
she
fault.
reset the. Some people word it so weird. Like for the longest, before I
Okay.
even saw season 2,
Okay, Unalaq severed the connection between the avatars, right? Korra losing access to past avatars was Unalaq's fault. Resetting the avatar cycle, that was Korra. Once she got Rava back and she bonded with Rava again, then the cycle was reset.
and then when you bring
Wasn't
up the
her
fact
fault.
that Aang literally died and ended the Avatar cycle, and then the only reason that the Avatar cycle continued is because Katara saved him, people will be like, "Oh, well, he lived though, so you know he didn't lose the cycle technically."
Yeah, but the point is Korra never died.
Aang would not give up his feelings of a girl. He would not give up his feelings for
just said
Katara,
this shit
a girl. Like I know he likes Katara and all that. That's his wife and mother of his kids and all that. But at the time, this was just a girl he knew for a couple months. He would not give up his feelings for this girl in order to go into the Avatar state. So nobody faults Aang for that. And then people will say things. They'll be like, "Oh, but Korra was older." Korra was fighting a
So?
1,000-year-old spirit.
She was still a fucking teenager. Like y'all keep knocking Korra as if she's a full grown woman. She's not in her 20s until like the end of the show. There's that whole 3-year period where she wasn't an avatar. She was still a teenager when she lost the avatar spirits. Aang can get away with being a kid doing stupid shit. Korra was a kid doing stupid shit too. Like, come on, bro.
That I've literally seen people attribute the loss of the past avatars' lives to Korra. They're framing it like she did that intentionally.
That's what I be saying, bro. The people really talk about it like Korra just said, "Okay, let's reset the Avatar cycle. Here, have Rava."
And then there's that whole she trusted Unalaq but not her and betrayed her father and Tenzin. As if her father and Tenzin weren't lying to her for 17 years. Like, come on, bro. She didn't have a choice. Fucking Tenzin was stringing her along, acting as if he had all this crazy knowledge about the spirit world, only for him to have never been there. Knowing damn well that there's evil spirits going all around Republic City wreaking havoc, she had no choice but to learn from Unalaq. Because he was the only one who knew how to get the fucking job done.
All these other avatars, I don't need them
And
anymore.
not only that, not only did she trust him, everyone in Team Avatar trusted him, including Tenzin and Tonraq. Niggas trusted Unalaq so much that Bolin dated his daughter. These people were master manipulators. So we can't just fault Korra for trusting him. Everyone trusted him. Her father was a little bit skeptical because because Unalaq was the reason he got exiled. But
Aang had masterminds on his team. Like that original Team Avatar is so stacked. Who did he have? Katara, Prodigy. Prodigy. You had a Toph, Prodigy, greatest earthbender ever. Unless you want to count like go into like the comics and bring up maybe Kiyoshi or
you must not know. Avatar fans don't like to read. Avatar fans do not like to read. If you bring up the novels, if you bring up the comics, Avatar fans can't figure out whether or not the comics are canon. Even though the answer is the comics are canon. They can't ever figure out whether or not they want to count the comics. So it's like they don't like to read. And the crazy part is they would have a lot more strength in their arguments if they actually read the books. Because they'll definitely grab random panels and screenshots from the comics, but they won't read them shits. They'll never read the text that's in the panel. They'll just look at the pictures. And they don't even bring up the light novels. Words with no pictures? What? Avatar fans do not like to read.
Hey, the regular Team Avatar was stacked. Korra's Team Avatar, Not that stacked.
Nah.
Mako was like Mako was an okay firebender.
Lightning bending, but then again, at that point, everyone was lightning bending. And Legend of Korra, like that shit is just something you can do on command. Bolin, he mastered lava bending. Toph don't know how to do that shit. Everyone is hit or miss, and the team is smaller because Aang's team avatar is Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, Toph, Suki. So that's 6 compared to Korra, Bolin, Mako, and Asami. That's the core team avatar. So you got 4 people on Korra's team compared to 6 people on Aang's. The roster is just stacked with talent on Aang's side.
This is a more complete Korra, a balanced Korra. Spiritually, she's at peace. There is no reason why this fight should have been as close as it was.
You gotta think, everything Kuvira can do, Korra can do, except metal bend. Because I don't think Korra learned how to metal bend throughout.
Korra can metal bend. She learned that shit, I think, in like either it was late season 3 or going into season 4. But she learned how to metal bend. Matter of fact, when did we look that up? Yeah, book 3. Korra learned metal bending in book 3, so she was able to metal bend. The only avatar to metal bend, by the way, Aang can't do that.
How does Kuvira fare against Toph's daughters? I can't remember. Just know she's in the top 3 earthbenders alive at top 4 because.
Didn't Sue train Kuvira and teach Kuvira what she knew? So it's like technically Sue Yin outclasses Kuvira.
Korra still has 3 other elements on her. Why was the fight so close?
2, or an airbender that
they had to keep it strictly to earthbending. She occasionally used other elements, but mainly this was an earth versus earth fight, and it shouldn't have been.
3, when she's crippled, she loses the use of her legs and has to go to rehab. That's not necessarily a bad thing. People take L's in life. People fail, especially in anime. God, I remember Ichigo getting his ass kicked every single arc. By Byakuya, by freaking Aizen, by Grimmjow. But especially...
You're not beating Aizen. Aizen planned your life out before you were born, Ichigo. Hell no. He's not beating Aizen.
The amount of people I saw when Seven Havens got announced and they showed the description for the show, the amount.
Nowhere in that description does it say it was Korra's fault.
Then season 3, you get poisoned, you get tortured, you get handicapped, and all people can focus on is, you're a homie hopper. You dated too many of your friends.
It's gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I don't care. Korra and Bolin should have been endgame. I am a colon shipper. It's a very rare shipping community, but I do feel like they could have had a chance. I'm not mad at Korrasami. I like Korrasami. And obviously it's fuck Mako, because he chose to be a cop. We hate cops over here. Fuck the police, fuck 12. But it's just like, damn, what if Bolin and Korra actually worked? If you want to talk about homie hopping, Katara ain't innocent either. God damn it. Zutara shippers, I'm looking at you. Got Jet, got Haru, Aang. They tease her getting with Zuko. That's 4 niggas right there. So if we talk about homie hopping, don't leave Katara out of the conversation. Even though some of those is more like crushes and not full on dating, but you get the point.
Her and Mako end up getting together. And then they break up. Korra ends up with the ex that is Asami. And
then Korra loses her memory. Korra lost her memories and forgot that they broke up.
I feel like the narrative that, she really ruined the world and all that, I feel like it was just played up for advertisement. These studios know what they're doing, but I have a hard time believing that Korra was the worst avatar of all time. I can't wait to see her in Seven Havens, though. It's going to be so cool.
Go follow Corin. This is a W reaction. I was not planning on watching this video. I saw it in my recommended feed. I'm like, you know what? Let's show Korra some love today. Ray Nami. Shout out to Ray Nami for the original video. I want to give credit where it's due. Yeah, man. Shout out to Avatar Korra. Better avatar than Aang.